All right. Lila, ¿de dónde es? Where are you from? ¿De dónde es? Canadá. Qué bien. Canadá. ¿De dónde es? Canadá. Now, if you want to make that a complete sentence, you would say, Yo soy de Canadá. Exactamente. Yo soy de Canadá. When you're doing that, when you're saying these things, like we've been doing since the beginning, because it's hard to speak without using this verb to be, you're conjugating the verb ser. Yo soy de Canadá. We're going to give you the whole list of conjugating verb ser. We'll do them right now. It's also on Página 19, page 19 in your books. You may look at that at the same time, or you can ignore it, but know that it's there. Yo soy de Canadá. So we use this for many things, and you've been using it pretty naturally, especially es. So the first one is yo soy, I am. And then él es, we've used a bunch of times. Usually we've said like Jimena es, or Don Carolina es. Él es would be he is. Weird thing here is that it looks just like the, except it has the accent on it. So if it has the accent on it, it doesn't change the pronunciation. It just means it's he instead of the. But we're missing one in between. I, you are is different than all the others. Tú eres. Yo soy, tú eres, él es. Try it out. Yo soy. Tú eres. Él es. Excelente. The next one has a double L. Double L's in Spanish, just like in French, sound like a Y. Think, think, think. Don't say anything. Sounds like a Y, so this is going to be pronounced ella. Try it out. Ella. Ella. Now the double L sounds like a Y, but it can also sound like a J, depending on where you're from. So you can say ella or ella. Both. Ella. What would that mean? Ella es? Claro. Now, the strange thing in Spanish is that there's a whole bunch of ways to say you. The first one, we're going to write here. Usted es. Usted is like vous, exactamente. Vous in French. So it's a formal you. You are formal. So the F period means formal. Just like in French, if you go to Doña Carolina, you say Doña Carolina, you would say Usted es de Cuba, or Usted es, meaning you are, Usted es de Canadá, just to be polite. Question so far? So far, all of these are the same. That makes it easier. S. It's just like in French, except you pronounce all the letters. There's no T not pronounced. Now we're going to go to the plurals. Let me write them on this side over here. I'm going to take away that. Nosotros, vosotros, usted, let me write it clearer. Ustedes, ellos, and ellas. Now, I'm going to do two things. We're going to write up what the conjugations are, but I want you to think and see if you can guess what these words mean. If you can guess at what any of them would mean. Before we go on, you're going to guess at this first part. I want you to talk to the person beside you. Tell them your guess. All right, so let's go through our conjugation and see how many were right. So nosotros somos. Try it out. Nosotros somos. No. Try it out, everybody. Nosotros somos. Don't get ahead of us, Emma Hellman. Here we go. Vosotros sois. Try it out. Sois. Now you pronounce both the O and the I. Vosotros sois. Now when we're doing this, nosotros somos would be we are. Nosotros, we are. You could also make it nosotras if it was a group of girls. You would say nosotras somos. And yes, it's a sexist language. So sexist. So it would be if there's 100, if it's all of Branksome Hall, it's all girls, but then there's a guy visiting from Crescent, you would say nosotros somos. Así es. Vosotros sois. What would your guess be? It's going to be masculine, correcto. So if we look on your list on page 17, it says them there as well. So if you have your book out, you're following, you can take a look there as well. But they're the same. You, masculine, familiar. So this is going to be familiar, you. And it's not you singular like the usted or the tú. It's going to be you guys are. It's one of those things where English isn't very precise, right? We can say you or you, and one of them's plural, and we can't tell which is which, right? In Spanish, you can. Tú eres or vosotros sois. Familiar, so it's with a bunch of friends. Ustedes son. Again, you. Oh, sorry. Are. And ellos and ellas follow the same pattern. Except it's not you. This would be they, group of girls or guys?
Guys.
Or
Girls with one guy.
Girls with one guy from Crescent. Ellas, they, all girls, yes. That is it. Sí, señorita.
Is ustedes formal?
Yes. So it depends on where you are. Ustedes could be formal, or it could, in Latin America, they don't use the vosotros, so they would just always say ustedes. So for this one, don't write anything. These ones are familiar and formal, and this one would be familiar. Sorry, that should be an M. Familiar. Informal. Eso es el verbo ser. You'll notice that the verb, kind of like être, it doesn't have anything to do with how it's conjugated in the present, right? Ser doesn't look like any of these. You'll notice it in the future, just like in French you'd say, que sera, sera. It'll come like that in Spanish as well. What will be, ser, will come in other places. But in the present, it doesn't look like that. All right, enough of that. Let's try it a little bit, and we'll finish.